Jonathan, I think you framed the question really well, and this idea of takes three to tango. First of all, we have an amazing technology in front of us, amazing platform, and I have no doubt we can solve for everybody's needs in a way that's going to dramatically improve our businesses and our operations. I'll go back to kind of how P&G looks at coupons, and the first thing I'll say is we don't have all the answers, but we're happy to sit down with anyone, retailers included especially, to figure out what that ideal solution looks like. But again, you know, we typically have two pools of spending when it comes to coupons. We've got our load to ID, what we invest in with our retailer partners to drive their go-to-market strategies and their merchandising. And like I said, I think that is working incredibly well. And we also spend hundreds of millions of dollars on what we're driving in our own direct-to-consumer paper FSI in an attempt to drive brand awareness and trial. That's the bucket where I think the opportunity is, right? And so I think for the retailers, the opportunity is to eliminate some of the ills associated with paper, right? Eliminate the fraud, eliminate the operations, the sorting, the shipping, eliminate the tension between the shopper and the cashier. There's a lot of angst and effort that we can remove and extract. And that's just to get us to, I think, kind of the starting point. I think from there, the innovation is just endless, right? So I'd start with by saying, hey, to those retailers that are really worried about load to ID, first and foremost, mandate it. If you want Tide on the front cover, say, okay, Tide, you have to support me with load to ID. We get that. That's why we have load to ID. That's why our teams sit down and invest in that, in those offers. But in terms of driving awareness and driving trial, in terms of trying to shift some of our media spend more towards a coupon spend, that's going to more directly, again, drive category growth, ultimately reaching 97% of households with other innovation beyond digital. To Mary's point, you know, if we code something wrong in paper, oh well, we have to let it run its course. We do it wrong in digital, we can correct it on the fly. Retailers should be expecting this from manufacturers and everyone in between. So I think we can more talk about the needs. I think the more we can make sure the platform's going to deliver against them.
Seth, what do you think about this?
I think it enables vendors like RevTrax to be very responsive to our clients. I think Mike talked about timeline of like, what do you do if you need to adjust something? This is instant, this is quick, this is a real-time platform. That's kind of the entire point. So I wanted to also address the earlier question that was asked around, you know, retailer acceptance. And really this is a broader theme of what can, you know, all the people on this phone call do to help this thing go bigger, faster. What RevTrax is doing is we put an agreement in place with the Coupon Bureau where any of our clients can sign a simple addendum and just get started. We'll set up and port over all their offer content. It's that easy. So for any of the brands who are on the call that are like, I would like to do this, that's how you can do this. But I think there's an additional ask, you know, and I'd love to get perspective from the rest of the panelists, but it's talk to your customer teams and ensure that the buyer on the retailer side is aware that you're supporting this initiative, that you want to know when they're going to accept off 8112 offers from the Coupon Bureau. What are their plans? What are their timeline? Push them, because if they get that call from you and they get that call from 5 other people who are asking the same thing, all of a sudden there's going to be a lot more discussion on the retailer side. And Mary, I'm curious, like, how does that enthusiasm build? So like, maybe you can help us understand how that plays out on the retailer side. If, you know, a bunch of the people from this phone call were to go and talk to their customer teams and, you know, as somebody who's worked at a retailer for a long time, you were to hear those types of things.
You stole the words out of my mouth, actually. I sit on a loyalty marketing team as a part of marketing, big marketing at Target, and I am one person, very active in the industry, and it's hard to prioritize against a program like Circle. And so when I'm kind of fighting for resources against this bigger loyalty program at Target, it's many times I am persistent for sure. So Mike and I have a really good relationship. We chat often. We work on lots of different initiatives. You know, we just really talk quite a bit about the industry, what's happening in the industry. This is a current topic that has been, that we've been talking about, you know, fraud, mitigation. How can you reduce the amount of counterfeit coupons that are being passed through our retail stores? If Mike and his team go to someone higher, and Mike goes to the marketing team and they have the conversations, and then the marketing team comes to us and says, hey, we've been talking with P&G, and they said that they're interested in this. That's how we get things done. And so sometimes it's, just going up the ladder and getting the right attention. If P&G, I don't know exactly what your market share is, Mike, but you make up a very large proportion of the coupons accepted at Target. And so they're a very important partner. Those conversations and just really understanding what the roadmap is and understanding what work truly is involved. Brandy's done a great job of, getting all the accelerators to do a lot of work. So what is the actual work needed for a retailer to get that into their POS system and to give everyone within our management, our leadership, the comfortability that this is a safe way to help our consumers save money.